Welcome to another edition of the Zoom with Our Feet podcast, the pod about learning creative media production, with me, your host, TMac, professional photographer, videographer, and teacher. On this episode of the ZoomPod, golf cameraman GMark Bowden takes us inside the ropes to talk about his time covering golf's biggest stars from the fairway and his office at the Masters from behind the famous par 3 12th green. Can you say amen, corner? We're off from the first tee. Our guest speaker is in the lab. Let's talk to a pro. Mark Bowden, welcome to the Zoom with Our Feet podcast. How are you, sir?
Good, thanks.
So, my friend, it is really good to see you, but I know you didn't start doing golf. How'd you start in this crazy business?
Started right out of school. Actually, in school, I should say. Was a photography major, and my buddy who I had grown up with threw a Yellow Pages at me and said, "Look under photography." This was our junior year, I think, and it was that thick, and I'm talking photography section. And he goes, "How are we going to make any money doing that?" And I go, "Man, are you right?" He goes, "Well, the theater department or something is putting on a new class called TV sports production." And I'm like, "Cool." So he goes, "I'm taking it." I go, "Yeah, I'm going with you. Let's go." So after that, it blossomed from there. I had a professor pull me aside, probably my senior year, and said, "GMark, if there's anything you're going to do, this is your gig." He said, "You are a pretty good camera guy." I've told this to maybe 4 guys in my 35 to 40-year career. And he said, "You would be good at this." And I went, "Wow." So
What was the first camera they handed you that you had to make pictures with?
Ikegami ITC 730. But that was relatively new in college stuff. But when I went to work in Hollywood, I worked on an Norelco PC-70. That's with the cable that was a key, on a pedestal in the studio. And yeah, it was the Wayback Machine was on.
So college program had lots of opportunities to work in the business or
Yeah,
in
our
live environments.
a new TV station opened up in Orange County, California, called KDOC Channel 56, and they came to the school and said, "We would like to have guys do internships." And I was all over that and literally learned how to do the business in the studio, and we had our own TV truck, and they cut a deal with the school to do sports events. They were Division One, baseball, basketball, football. It was awesome. Guys at UCLA and USC couldn't believe it. But we were doing 4 remotes a week. It was awesome.
And that's where you learn the basics. That's where you
Oh,
learn
yeah, but I had
all the
mentors.
positions.
I had mentors, the engineers. One of the engineers, actually, we interviewed for the same job on the NBC soap opera, Days of Our Lives. We interviewed for the same job, and he got it. And I got a job at ABC during General Hospital and other stuff. And Mike is probably retired by now, but he was an engineer at the school and taught me a lot of stuff about cameras and how they work and other stuff. Of course, we did it all: audio, video, TD. I even directed a bunch of stuff on basketball shows and stuff. So it was cool.
Where does where does golf come into the picture?
Played golf. I went to,
He's a good player, folks. Don't let
sometimes,
him. I'm going to get out ahead of this hustle first. He's a
sometimes,
good player.
need six aside from you, of course. Um, when you're in a freelance business like this, you learn real quick. Certain sports you get paid more than others, and you get a more days than others. Um, Somehow I got hooked up with Steve Bime, who is a top-notch director. I met him at the Olympics in Korea, and he was really good friends with Don Olmeyer, who was, famous for everything. And Olmeyer Communications somehow hooked up with ESPN, and they got the rights to do all the Champ Tour stuff, Senior Tour at the time. And Steve he was their guy. And he remembered that I played golf. We had a great time in '88 Olympics in Korea. And he called me and said, "Hey, this is your gig. This is where you belong." And it's probably started there. I mean, otherwise, I'd probably still be in the studio or doing day-to-day stuff, getting paid by the day. But golf, you get 5 days or more sometimes. So I'm like, not a math major, but that looks like a good gig to me. Make more
What
cash.
year? What year was that?
82, 83,
Eight, 82,
something like that.
83.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Skins
Um,
games, all that stuff we did. Man, it was awesome. 25 years of skins games I did.
I was just explain the skins game.
They call match play, winner take all. And the money, if you tie, two tie, all tie, and the money carries over to the next hole, next hole, next hole. During Thanksgiving, it was the only thing to watch because it
Yeah.
was all the big guys: Nicklaus, Trevino, Palmer, Chichi, Freddie, Mickelson, Tiger. I mean, we knew that all eyes were on. I mean, it was number one. It was fun to work, but you had to have your I'll say S asterisk asterisk together because as a handheld guy, three handheld, four players, you better have a team that knows how to do a circus and operate out there because you got to get
Yeah.
every shot. It was great, great.
So I'll let you tell the story. There's a famous par three hole in one by Trevino, right? Trevino, Nicklaus, who else?
PGA West Stadium course, 87 probably, I think. 70, 80, had to be 87. Yeah, I'm up on the tee box with the camera on the ground, shooting the ball probably super tight with the logo of the Skins game, tee marker in the background, artist of, all time artist shot. And of course he knocks it in.
I'm making art, man. I'm
Yes,
making art.
touch nothing. I have it all under control. My dad wanted to see what kind of ball they were playing all the time. So that's why I started with the low stuff. People say I invented the ball in the hole stuff way back because my dad wanted to see it. And I started shooting ball in the hole on putts and all sorts of stuff. And then low ball without tracers going away. You can see the ball with the sun behind. You can see the ball go in the trajectory. So, but that particular hole, he knocks it in the hole. And I was slowly trying to get it on my shoulder, and it took me because he was dancing around with Herman and everybody on the tee box, and it was awesome. It's a memory for the ages, as they say. Yeah, it was great.
And they were like made for TV events.
Totally, totally. Yeah, nothing else. There was nothing up against us. What are you going to watch on Thanksgiving? One pro
Yeah.
game, maybe, and then we come on
Yeah.
after that or before that.
Yeah.
Awesome. 9 holes.
Yeah.
great for
And,
us.
and
On 9 holes, I could bust my booty easily. 16, 20
I
Advil, I'm good to go.
I remember I remember many a year where it came down to 9 and everybody's in and everybody looking stern by that point, you know. A
Yeah,
little bit of yucking it up as we go, but we get to
yeah.
9 and
You
we
know,
got skins.
yeah, $1 million, and then a bonus skin for whatever if you do this or that. Or, yeah,
Yeah.
and we thought we thought we had it made by with the catering and the money and what we were getting paid, but it was it was fun. That was fun.
First Open. When did that come along for you?
86. I want to
Who
say
won?
Shinnecock. You're
Right?
taxing my memory now, TMac.
Floyd.
Floyd won, I think. I was actually got asked to do E and G, which is go out and shoot peripheral stuff, and then all the cool looking stuff, and stuff in the town, what around Shinnecock. And then during the it was on ABC, I think, and during the show, I would shoot tight shots and stuff. Whatever aired later in the post game show or something, or this whatever they did for features and stuff like that. It was awesome.
I I don't think that people realize how big a television show a US Open is. I mean, it's it's grown so much, and even in my years, because I picked it up when NBC picked up the contract in, I want to say, 94. So you mentioned uh, a lot of years walking, stalking the fairways with the camera on your shoulder. Describe
32.
that job.
It's the best. I mean, when you're young and you want to be Mr. Creative, that's the place to be because you can do everything with that camera. Take it off your shoulder, put it on your shoulder, walk with it like I call it carrying the baby. And you get to know the players and you get to see stuff like nobody else gets to see right in front of you. Yeah, I mean, I've seen shots that I mean, yeah, Trevino, Tiger out of the bunker of the Canadian Open, over water, it's getting dark. I mean, it's crazy stuff like that. I've seen Tiger hit shots never thought he could hit. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of fun to be out there and see how the players react and know when to go get a guy and know when not to go get a guy.
Right,
I've had guys
right.
try to walk me in the lake. So Palmer tried to walk me in the lake a couple times. Not funny. Not funny.
So the mandatory sort of stuff is you work behind the golfers, but you also I don't think people realize that especially Sunday at the Open back 9, there's multiple of you covering groups.
Yeah, it's normally a lot. When I was out there, and I don't want to, toot my horn too much, but most camera guys would defer to the senior guy, so to speak, or the guy that's done more U.S. Opens or knows the players, or I would tell the guys, okay, I'll get this guy, you get the face, and then I'll go get the other guy reverse, and you get that kind of stuff. So um, it was the same way in the skins game. I mean, I've done so many of them that when some new guys would come along, you know what to do. If you don't know what to do, you shouldn't be out there by now. And that's kind of a level, I say.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest, though, on Sunday at the U.S. Open. All bets are off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, walk through. There's nobody behind us, especially if it's not it's playoffs the next day with normally 18 holes. So you walk in the bunkers, across the bunkers. It didn't matter. Stand in front of photographers. Hello, all bets are off. It's the U.S. Open, and we paid to be here, and sorry about that. Next week you'll say, that's a great shot he had. So, yeah.
It's a it's a crazy weekend. I mean, describe for people, golf fans, they'll sit and watch and it's majestic and but I think Thursday and Friday doesn't really come
Well,
across.
four, the four worst words in golf for a handheld guy are go back and get. Because I just did 18 and this happened to me at Oakland Hills when I think Steve, Jones won over
Right.
Heyman, I think. God, my memory coming back
Yeah.
crazy. I did 18, and Bucky Gunts or somebody was directing and said, GMark, go back and get. I'm like, go back and
Yeah.
get.
Right.
This is like Thursday, Friday, because it's like a 12-hour show. Man,
Yeah.
I'm already a dead man. You want me to go back and finish this guy for 10 holes? You got to be kidding me.
He's making a move,
Doesn't
bro.
matter. You go, oh, okay. Advil.
You're looping at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Good times though, I mean, I don't do them anymore, but man, I can't I'm trying to remember what my greatest US Open story would be, but I just don't even have any because I was well at ABC I was camera one, for a long time. And I can't remember well, probably Oakmont was a good one. Ernie Els and those guys, but there's probably
Yeah.
many more that I should remember that I do. So
Come on, Payne Stewart.
yeah, I was there. I was standing on the green when he knocked it in at
Yeah.
Pinehurst. Good point. I was standing.
I
Oh,
was
I'll tell you another one. When I was standing behind Mickelson when he shrimped it on 18 at where was that? And it went
was
off
that New York?
the yeah, yeah. It was but what course was it? I can't remember.
There was a public course we did, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
but that was Beth Page. Was it there? Maybe it was Beth Page. He shrimped it, and he was
Yep.
going to win. And it went
Yeah.
so far. I mean, it went left of Denver. It was,
Yeah.
and it
Yep.
went off the tent, and I'm like, this guy just blew it. And I've known Phil a long time, so I was like, wow.
You are you handheld guys are so close to the players, as you said. What is the funniest exchange you've heard that even you chuckled?
I Tiger and Steve Williams used to have fart contests. And they do it sometimes. I would be in the fairway waiting for them to come up off the tee, sitting in I'd be at one knee, and they would stop on each side of me and fire them off, and I'd be like, and they would laugh and look at me. I mean, I was like, you got to be kidding me, and not pleasant. That kind of I remember a lot actually. They did that, or Steve could do them on command. Tiger, just because. Yeah.
What's the funniest thing you've heard a caddy say, either to you or to the golfer, or because I think the caddies are hilarious.
Yeah, new guy. I can't remember who it was. Scotty McCarron was playing in the group. I remember that. Scotty and I have been friends for years. Freddie was there. I think some new rookie guy, and I was standing behind him on I don't know, maybe the fairway or something. Maybe probably with the tee box. And he goes, "Hey, don't be moving back there." And I'm like, thinking, who's he talking to? It's the last group, Sunday. This guy was playing for his life. And Freddie walked over and said, if this guy's standing behind him, it's money in the bank, my friend. All you want is this guy standing behind you, GMark, because it's like a gas pump flowing in your bank account. He goes, you don't have to worry about him.
That's right.
But it was true. If I showed up, they knew that they were in contention or leading a lot of times.
TV has come to the hole.
I mean, how many times did I tell guys out of fun when they got on me and they were kind of kidding? I said, listen, without this camera on my shoulder, you're playing for $1 4-way, so it's up to you. They're like, he's right.
There's so much travel involved. I don't have to tell you, but
3.5 million on United, by the way.
How many?
3.5 million.
On United.
1985. I started in their program.
That's crazy.
I agree.
So, everybody's got road stories. Here's the best one with you. I believe it was an open out at La Jolla. You and I are looking for a place to eat. You say to me, hey, I've been to P.F. Chang's. And I go, what's P.F. Chang's? And you're like, that's it. We're going. And we go to the, it was walkable from the hotel. We show up and the place is mobbed.
Who's standing there? Nicholson, whoever else is in the tournament, the Buick Open. They're all standing there trying to get in.
That's right.
I'm like,
we do a lap around the bar, end up right where the waitresses come to the bar. They'll have those two little pipes that you're not. So we're kind of crowded in there waiting on a drink. And a gentleman in a pair of khakis and a blue button down looking very managerial shows up and says, you take it from here.
Thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate the whatever. And I went, we haven't even sat down yet, man. We're looking for a place to sit and eat. We just did a lap. He's like, what? I go, yeah, look at this place. See, we were just looking for a place we're out of here. And he goes, hold on a second. Are you guys with the golf? We said, well, yeah. Are you guys work for NBC? Yeah. Hang on a second. Next thing I know, we're following this guy to a table. We sit down. He says, hey, let's chat a little bit. We start talking golf and talking about TV, and I'm looking at you, TMac, and he goes, I think he laughed and came back, but as he left, I said, this guy, is he trying to pick us up, or is he the manager, or we got to find out who this guy is, right? Boom.
Well, then food starts showing up.
Right. All of a sudden, all this drinks and stuff, and he comes back and goes, you guys mind if I eat with you? And I'm like, no, but who the hell are you? He goes, well, I go like first we, Rick Federico, we all meet. I said, are you the manager here, Rick? And he goes, well, kinda. And I went, kinda? What's kinda? He goes, well, I'm more than a manager. And I go, really? Like what? He goes, well, I'm the CEO. I go, of what? He goes, of P.F. Chang's. I go, step into my office. We had a great dinner. We became friends, right? Friends for a long time until he retired.
Yeah.
Every time I'd go to the Phoenix Open where he would live, I was always, hey, Rick, I'm in town. He goes, what night are we going? What night are we going to dinner? I said, any night.
I love telling that story, and I always say, yeah, let me tell you the story of how I met the F in P.F. Chang's.
Yeah. That's my guy.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's a lot of years, big boy. What's your most favorite? You got to pick one. What's a favorite memory?
Masters, always. This year will be my 35th year. 35 years. 31 on 12 green. First 3 were on 15 fairway. I go back to 89 is my first one. Frank Chirkinian is directing. I mean, really? Yeah. I mean, when I got asked to do the Masters, I'll never forget at the LA Open, they said, "Hey, Mark, would you be interested in doing the Masters?" I'm like, how many times has the guy to say yes? And then it took off from there. Just number one, it's the coolest place ever. And then
Yes.
a lot of the times, Sunday afternoon, when the drama, and you could hear the roars. I could hear the roars. Well, I could see it a lot, but I don't have time to really look at what we call return of the show. I'm looking at my stuff, what's going on. But you could hear and just know that it's coming. And it all comes down to Amen Corner where I'm at. And I'm like, well, this is just great. You are looking at a guy with a target on him, and I'm a dead man if I don't get this ball in the air, that kind of stuff. So it's
A-
pressure, big time. I kid you not. It's big time
And
pressure. The most I've ever
and
felt.
that shot is not easy with those stands back there
Patron,
behind the tee.
50 feet tall
Patrons.
of, what do they call it, bleachers, I guess? Trying to find the ball out of that. Fun, baby. Pucker factor of 1 million. Especially on, the last 2 groups.
Correct.
Baby. I cannot tell you what a relief it is after they leave 13T or my green for Sunday afternoon. It's like, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Because I sit
That's
out
quite
there
a
with, I mean, for a camera guy, it's what you want is to be in the
yeah.
mix. But that particular camera on that particular hole, and I'm extremely lucky. Okay, a lot of guys won't take it because they know it's a gigantic crosshairs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I've survived so far. So let's on this year.
And it's the place is immaculate. There's always just crazy golf.
The one year we did it with no fans, COVID year, unbelievable. I could actually see what it looked like without bleachers and patrons.
Yeah.
So awesome. So
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, wow.
Way back in the early 90s, I hooked up with a band of TV misfits doing all the prototype work for NHK and a little thing called HDTV at the time. And we did, I believe it was 4, maybe 5 at the Masters, where they were prototyping all the lenses, all the gear, and and that was my experience. So I didn't have that kind of pressure, but I got to take in all of it, and
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had one of 2 lenses in the world on my camera once, a 107 Fuji when I went out there. All these guys were on my tower hanging around taking pictures. And
Yeah,
I'm like, what is going on? I just got there. And I look up there and I go, it's all these Japanese guys because they wanted to use it for a brochure or sales stuff or whatever. I mean, it was awesome. It
correct.
is an awesome lens. That I'll give. But
NHK is the sort of PBS of Japan, but they do it differently. It's a consortium of all of the commercial networks doing their technology developments.
yeah,
And that's why it was NHK, and that's why we were doing all that work.
yeah,
But
TBS, Tokyo Broadcasting System, all those guys. I used to
yeah,
get a shirt
yeah,
from them and a poster every year because
yeah,
I think they had my camera direct. Actually, they had my
yeah,
camera direct and a camera underneath my tower, robotic. And I would
Yeah.
always unbag it for them, wipe off the lens, make sure it's working, and they loved that. So they always took care of me. Yeah, I mean,
It's
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 pretty awesome.
such a cool it's such a cool place.
Yeah.
So you and I both have had plenty of young guys come along. Um, let me, I'd love to get your thoughts on, and I'm sure you get this question now, uh, being the gray beard that you are. What do you tell the young guys that want to do golf specifically? What are a couple of things that you tell them they need to know if they're going to do that specialty within a specialty?
Know the game first. Know the game. And then don't be the excuse that a guy turns around and says, "What are you doing back there?" or points you out. And then concentrate on what your craft is. I mean, if you're a camera guy, man, get the coolest angles there is. And don't be the guy that the guy yells at you and says, "Get that camera out of my face." I don't care if a director's screaming at you, "Go get him, go get him." Well, you go get him, but you do it about a 50-yarder, go get him. Unless
Yeah,
you know the guy. But you don't want to see guys. I mean, I've been there when guys melt down and below the tournament, especially a major. It's just
yeah,
bad. And you
yeah,
don't want to, they don't want to have a camera in their face, and some guys don't get it. So, three things: know what you're doing, know your game, what the game's all about, where to be, where not to be. Can't be in a guy's line when he's putting if he doesn't know you. Me, different. They trust me. I've earned it. Other guys, get out, get out, get out. Stuff like that. I mean, that I think is huge. You got to know your sport.
yeah. I've mentioned this a couple of times to other guys that I think the thing that I did personally was I sought out the replay guys and asked them what what can I do better? Because I don't think people realize when they watch golf how they transition to we're going to 13. That may be recorded. And
You
uh,
know what I did, Timo, was I told the guys I would go hunt down the guy who had my machine, and I said, "Don't cut off me. Don't cut off me. Wait, just wait, because I mean, like especially when I have the putt, don't cut to another camera with the reaction. The guy's gonna react in my camera.
yeah,
I'm already right in front of him. Hello."
yeah,
Schooling them helps too, because they all do is cut, 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 cut. No, don't cut. Wait, and then
yeah.
you make your freaking Academy Awards.
Well, and different, and who the stoic guys are and who the guys that are gonna react. I mean,
Huh.
some guys they just sort of take it in stride, and unless
Robots,
they're
robots. Yeah,
yeah,
Tiger, big
yeah,
react guy. But you got to follow him too, where he's going. Who knows where he's going?
right,
Stuff like that. Then a lot of guys are just like Patrick Cantley. Ho
yeah,
hum.
just taking a
Like
stroll.
like Pat, you smile, crack a face. Come on, show me something.
You play a golf, brother.
I mean, hello. What are you? iRobot? Come on, my man.
So, like many of the camera guys, you've done all different kinds of sports, Olympics. Is golf the hardest?
I would say hockey was pretty hard. Okay, I did some hockey games. I to this day I don't even know what the blue line means. I gotta tell you. And I did the gold medal game in Calgary, and I did Gretzky breaking the record at the Forum in LA. and I did some other hockey grade stuff. I don't know what the blue line even means, to be honest. We did 5 hole. I got nothing. But yeah, I'd say golf. You can't take a football guy and put him on golf. I don't think, because you gotta know when to zoom out when the ball's in the air. If you're a hard camera guy, you gotta know
Yep.
all sorts of how to frame it, when to zoom, when not to zoom into the hole, how to get back to a guy. If you're a one camera show, I mean,
Yeah.
you get your
Yeah.
own. You're your own dude out there, man. A lot of. How about being a handheld guy and they go to the front? I went on Annika's 59. I was the only with a beta cam. I'm out there on the front 9, her back 9, and she's going like, hello, making history.
Yeah.
We didn't have a camera till like, I guess 8 green, maybe 9 actually.
Right.
That we could go
Picked her
live.
up. Yeah.
And I had to sell them on, like, she was like 8 under on the front or something, and I had to sell them because the stupid camera was in the booth for the announcers to show you we didn't have enough cameras. So I had to
Yeah.
sell and say, hey, I think she's going deep, like really deep.
Like
And then
history.
she makes
deep.
birdie on 10. GMark, get the camera! Go! It was, I think it was me and Al Pollock was out there for Golf Central or something, but I had carte blanche and he didn't. And I documented the whole thing. In fact, that thing right there is signature and a ball from her 59. So,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, that was the first woman in ever history. Nobody since, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's being your own director, producer, and camera guy.
Yeah.
Go. Green.
My favorite memory was 2000 Pebble Beach, Tiger Lap in the field. We fog out on Friday. We got to replay or finish on Saturday morning. And wouldn't you know, the Woods group is coming up to the 5T, and I'm on the green right next to the ocean. And I'm looking at this sky going, this fog hasn't lifted yet.
Yeah.
And, I could see him and sort of see him. And I'm like, this thing's going into the soup. And as high as he hits it, I am never going to find it. And I'm getting myself ready. And Bucky Gunts, real low, whispers, T-Mac, good luck.
Isn't that the greatest? I mean, yeah. I get that from...
That's it, Buck.
Yeah.
That's all you got. And he hits it, and I go up, and it's totally gone. But, that's the thing. Like you say, what you're doing. Don't panic. I made that move another 200 times.
Protect
and
the
I
hole.
went up, and I went down like I did the 25 shots before, and it sort of kerplunked at the same time, and then I went, there it is.
Yeah.
But just in that moment, like, there's no help. There's no other camera. There wasn't a low there. The folks, the whoever was behind, you could barely see the tower. And they're like, I hear the horn go off.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is bad.
Try doing it at night.
Yeah.
I do the match that's on TNT with Steve Vine directing.
Yeah.
He's such a schmuck that he'll just, if he always puts me on par 3s, I guess. Ball goes out of the lights. Hello, bye-bye. Comes back in. Hey, wow. And then if you don't have it, he'll say, oh, please go in. Please go in. Please. Just to have ammo to rip you for the rest of the year. That kind of stuff. Ammo guy.
Well, Mr. Mark Bowden, it is so good to see you. I miss your enthusiasm and friendship, and man, you know where the good places to eat are, my brother.
Waffle House.
I love Waffle House.
I got Waffle House and T-shirt and hat around here somewhere. I wear that a lot out there setting up, and guys come up and go, "Oh, GMark, that's the greatest hat I've ever seen." You know, it's a baseball hat with Waffle House on it. I'm in.
Yeah, man.
Good stuff.
It was great to see you. I can't thank you enough for being a part of the project.
Of course.
Safe travels.
Thanks.
Be well. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Thanks, T.
Thanks again to the cameraman of many stories, GMark Bowden. If the ball's in the air, you can check out his work behind the 12th green at the Masters. The Zoom with Our Feet podcast is a production of TV Commando Media. The ZoomPod theme is by Novembers and their funky groove, Cloud 10. Until next time, sports camera operators, if you're not shooting, you're not learning.